I figured since I've been posting a lot of videos, I'd probably talk about how my S13 went to this and kind of how this accident happened. And really, honestly, the reason why I got rid of it, which was one of the biggest regrets that I ever made. So I think in this video, I'm going to kind of go over some of the history and details of my 92 Nissan 240 SX hatchback. This car was something that I bought, now looking at it, 13 years ago. So got this car in August of 2013. I was in high school, I think sophomore year. So just sold my Civic and, couldn't have picked a better car, right? For a 16-year-old. Instantly started to modify it, attempting to drift it, just, high school things. And, just have the fun that you can have in a KA240 with an open diff. Through the years, I kept this car all the way to high school, started getting my first job, working outside of a grocery store, things like that most kids do in high school. But honestly, it was kind of like my baby. So modified it, did some things to it, rode a grid, 17 by 9.5 wheels, tried some 18 9.5 wheels, kind of always switched around the wheel set up on the car every few months because I was able to buy something, flip them, sell them on Facebook or even Craigslist back in the day. But I wanted to start to drift it. And that's what I started to do when it was just NAKA for a little bit. Now, obviously, 140 horsepower, 200K mile motor, leaking valve stem seals. It struggled. It could barely drift, to be honest with you. Went and did some upgrades, another set of new wheels. Started to kind of go down the path of, let's set this thing up a little bit more to drift, but I want some more power as well. So let's throw a twisted motion turbo on the old KA and see if it what it can do. That motor made it one event, about 300 miles. This was the event, and cylinder 2 ringland failure. So $1,999 is what I paid for that SR20. Shipped it to my work and started down the path of reswapping or redoing another motor swap in the car again. But knowing that, Blacktop SR would probably be the best route for the price. $2,000 is unheard of. So got back out to the same drift event that I blew the motor up at. Here's one of the runs. Kill me sometimes, throwing my hands off like I knew what I was doing. Later on, took the car to Piedmont Drift. This is another run here. This was still SR, stock steering angle with just tie rod spacers, nothing too major, but started to pick up, what to do, how to carry the car a little bit better in this run. So a couple successful drift events with the SR just kind of continued. My brother and I hit a ton of East 10 events that were in Concord, North Carolina. They were like 30 minutes from the house, so literally every single one for a few months straight. We hit those events, had some serious fun. Definitely picked up skill even more driving the car, but this next run will show you kind of what actually happened. Yeah, it was a hard hit, and I was pissed, honestly, because for one, yeah, I spun, but two, that guy went off track, came back on track, just, being an idiot in my opinion. So went to Facebook Marketplace, found a S13 coupe at the Air Force Base in South Carolina, paid $1,500 for this thing. Came with a full body kit, over fenders, wide body. So decided down the path, I'm going to swap everything over and slowly start to get everything switched over. Well, being 18 years old or so, 19, I decided I can't keep another car. Storage was expensive, so I sold the S13. Continued with the coupe, painted it Rust-Oleum gray. It's kind of your typical 240 drift mods. Installed a Villains angle kit. Later on installed just like a handbrake inline hydro, but after a little bit just was not interested in the car and ended up actually selling it. Tried to continue drifting for as much as I could, honestly. I ended up getting a different job, moving away. So for about 7.5, 8 years, I just helped my brother out on his projects, which he was kind enough to let me drive those here and there at different events, Piedmont, things like that, so I can still kind of keep up my skill. But about 7 or so years later, picked up a E46 330i. It was an automatic car, found a little dealer on the side of the road. $800, but I had it about 2 months. Somebody fried the ECU, and I just decided to sell it. Now, a little while later, I found this E92 328 6-speed manual. I decided to annoy is probably the best way to put it. And my brother says for literally a business quarter, the gentleman that had this car on Craigslist, and beat him down on price from $7,900 down to $4,700. So I had this car for a little while, decided to do a little bit of modifications to it. But on July 3rd of last year, 2025, my brother called me. I was on a meeting with my boss and blew me up. He had found my S13. It was located down in Georgia. Some guy bought it from the person that I sold it to. And that thing had been sitting for 8 years under a tree with the window partially down and was pretty much untouched. course, being that I found my S13 again, posted up the 92 for sale. And this was the last picture that I had of the car. Quickly jumped, got right to work on the S13. Of course, I had to clean it up and everything from sitting up under a tree for nearly a decade.
Because like
Found a body shop that actually could do the work of pulling out the rocker, and what they said was the A-pillar that was moved. So you can see there in the windshield that was cracked and everything. Apparently that A-pillar had really twisted in with the door. I did have a harness bar in the rear. I think that kind of kept things, solid. But my brother sent me this video right after he picked the car up from the body shop. And I mean, when that door was probably a half of an inch over that quarter, and now it opens and closes. Made a couple sad boy TikToks and things. Once I got the car back to the house and started, get it prepped and get everything ready to work on. Another quick progress update. Starting to wire wheel all the surface rust and inside of the wheel well. Just clean all this dirt and grime up. It's making a bit of a mess, but 33 years worth of dirt, so can't be too upset. Clean up well. Good thing is I'm not finding any major rust spots. I mean, there's surface rust here and there in little areas. I'm gonna clean it off, paint it, treat it, roll on from it. Final product with about 2 coats. I think so far it looks good. Had a little bit of a extra spray there, but no big deal.